Hello, my friends. Welcome back to English Unbound. I'm Tom, and I'm so happy to have you here again. Today, we're diving into a fascinating and powerful book, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. This book is not just about spirituality. It's about life, the mind, and the way we experience time. It shows us how most of our stress, anxiety, and unhappiness come from one thing: not living in the present moment. If you've ever felt trapped by your thoughts, or worried too much about the future, this book will open your eyes. So grab your tea, get comfortable, and let's explore the timeless wisdom of the power of now. And before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who loves learning and self-growth. Alright, let's begin. Chapter 1. You are not your mind. Eckhart Tolle begins this book with a surprising and powerful truth. Most people are completely controlled by their own minds. We spend our days thinking, analyzing, worrying, but we rarely pause to realize that we are not our thoughts. He says that real peace begins when you understand this separation, the difference between you and your mind. Your mind is a tool. It's like a computer that helps you plan, create, and survive. But if the computer starts running on its own, with no control, it becomes a problem. That's what happens when we believe every thought that appears. Tolle calls this the voice in the head. It's the constant inner chatter, the one that comments on everything you do. Why did you say that? What if things go wrong? I'm not good enough. We think this voice is who we are. But Tolle says it's not. You are the awareness behind the voice. You are the listener, not the speaker. Let's take an example. Imagine you spill your coffee in the morning. Instantly your mind says, "Ugh, I'm so clumsy. I ruin everything." But if you pause for a second, you can hear that voice without reacting. You might notice, my mind just said I'm clumsy. That simple act, noticing, is the first step to freedom. When you watch your thoughts instead of fighting them, something changes. You stop identifying with the negativity. You stop letting your thoughts define who you are. And as soon as you create that small space between the observer and the thought, peace appears. It's like the sky and the clouds. Your thoughts are the clouds, sometimes dark, sometimes light, always moving. But you are the sky, open, clear, and untouched by storms. No matter what clouds appear, the sky remains. Tolle also says that most human suffering comes from unconscious thinking. We live in the past, replaying old memories, or in the future, worrying about what might happen. Our mind pulls us away from the present moment, the only place where life actually happens. When you become aware of your thoughts, you begin to wake up. You start noticing that your mind creates stories about everything. Stories about yourself, about others, about the world. Most of those stories are not true. They are just habits, old patterns of thinking that repeat again and again. So, the first lesson is simple but life-changing. Learn to watch your thoughts. Don't fight them. Don't believe all of them. Just observe. At first, it might feel strange, like you're standing outside of yourself, watching your own mind. But with practice, it becomes natural. And the more you observe, the more you realize something beautiful. There's a deeper you, silent, peaceful, aware, that has always been there, underneath the noise. When you connect with that stillness, you find freedom. You are no longer the prisoner of your mind. You are the watcher, the witness, the consciousness itself. So remember, your thoughts are not you. Your emotions are not you. You are the awareness behind them, calm, awake, and free. Chapter 2. The Illusion of Time. Eckhart Tolle introduces one of the most important ideas in the whole book. Time is an illusion. Now, of course, time exists in a practical way. We use clocks, calendars, and schedules. We have birthdays, deadlines, and appointments. But the psychological time, the one we live in inside our minds, is the real problem. Tolle says that most of our pain comes from living in this mental time, in the past or the future, instead of in the only real moment that exists, the present. Think about it. How much of your day is spent thinking about something that already happened? Maybe you replay an argument from yesterday, or regret a choice you made years ago. Or maybe you spend hours worrying about tomorrow, what could go wrong, what people will think, what you still need to do. Our mind loves time because it gives it something to chew on, something to control, something to fix. But the truth is, life is never happening yesterday or tomorrow. It's only happening now. Tolle says, the present moment is all you ever have. There is never a time when your life is not this moment. Let's do a little thought experiment. Imagine you are sitting outside, watching the sunset. For a few seconds, your mind is quiet. You're not thinking about yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's plans. You're just there, breathing, watching the colors change, feeling the air on your skin. In that instant, you are completely alive. That's what Tolle calls presence. But the moment your mind says, "Oh, this is such a beautiful sunset, I should take a picture," you've already left the now. You've entered the world of thought, of past and future again. This doesn't mean you should never plan or remember. It means you should know when you are using time, and when time is using you. When your mind is trapped in time, it creates pain. The past becomes guilt, resentment, or nostalgia. The future becomes worry, stress, or fear. And while you're lost in both, the present, the only place where joy and peace live, quietly disappears. Tolle gives a simple but powerful advice. Whenever you feel anxious or tense, ask yourself, what's wrong right now, in this very moment? Usually, the answer is nothing. Right now, in this second, you're breathing. You're safe. You're alive. The fear and the stress exist only in your thoughts, in time, not in life. This is why meditation and mindfulness are so powerful. They bring you back to the only real point of power, now. When you live fully in the present, even ordinary moments become beautiful. Washing dishes, walking to work, talking with a friend, all of them feel richer, more alive. Because you're actually there, not lost in your head. Tolle says that the secret to happiness is not achieving something in the future, it's discovering the beauty of this very moment. The sound of your breath, the light in the room, the feeling of simply existing. So, the second great lesson of the power of now is this: stop chasing life somewhere else. Stop waiting for someday. You don't need to go anywhere to find peace. It's here, right now, waiting beneath your thoughts. The past has no power over the present, unless you give it power. And the future is only a shadow, it hasn't arrived yet. So take a deep breath. Feel this moment fully. Because this, right now, is your life. Chapter 3. The Pain Body. Eckhart Tolle introduces one of the most mysterious and powerful ideas in the power of now, the pain body. He says that emotional pain from our past does not disappear. It stays inside us, like an invisible energy field, waiting for the right moment to wake up. And when it does, it can take control of our thoughts, our emotions, and even our behavior. Tolle calls this energy the pain body. It is made of old emotions, anger, sadness, fear, shame, that we never faced completely. They live inside us, silently sleeping, until something triggers them. For example, imagine someone makes a small comment, maybe something about your work or your appearance. To most people, it's nothing. But suddenly, you feel hurt, angry, or defensive. It's like a fire starts burning inside. That reaction often comes not from the present situation, but from the past pain that the situation touched. That is your pain body waking up. Tolle explains that the pain body loves drama. It feeds on negative emotions, anger, jealousy, self-pity, guilt. When you argue, when you complain, when you feel like a victim, the pain body grows stronger. It wants you to stay unconscious, to keep repeating the same emotional stories again and again. And that's why sometimes, after an argument or emotional explosion, you feel drained, empty, because the pain body just ate. But there's good news. Once you become aware of it, you can stop feeding it. Awareness is the light that weakens the pain body. The next time you feel that wave of emotion rising, instead of reacting, pause. Watch it. Feel it in your body, maybe as a tightness in your chest, a heaviness in your stomach, a rush of heat. Notice it and silently say, my pain body is active right now. That simple recognition creates space between you and the pain. In that space, transformation begins. You don't need to fight the emotion. You don't need to judge it. Just allow it to be there, fully, consciously, without acting it out. When you do this, something beautiful happens. The pain body begins to dissolve. It loses power because it can only survive in darkness, in unconsciousness. When you shine awareness on it, it starts to fade away. Tolle gives an example. Imagine a dark room filled with shadows. You can scream at the darkness or try to push it out. It won't help. But if you bring in a single candle, the shadows disappear by themselves. Awareness is that candle. We all carry pain bodies, both personal and collective. Some are heavy with old trauma, others are lighter, made of everyday frustrations. But every human being has one, and recognizing it is a huge step toward freedom. When you see your pain body clearly, you stop identifying with it. You realize, this is not me. This is an old emotion passing through me. You become the observer, the witness, not the pain. And then, something magical happens. Instead of reacting with anger, you respond with understanding. Instead of judging others, you see their pain too. Because you know, they're not being cruel, their pain body is just speaking. So the third great lesson of the power of now is this: awareness heals pain. Don't suppress it. Don't escape it. Just shine the light of presence on it. As Tolle says, what you resist, persists. What you accept, transforms. By bringing presence to your pain body, you stop the endless cycle of suffering. You stop passing pain to others. And slowly, moment by moment, you return to peace, the peace that was always there beneath the surface. Chapter 4. Acceptance and Surrender. In this chapter, Eckhart Tolle introduces one of the most misunderstood, yet most powerful ideas in the power of now: acceptance and surrender. Many people hear those words and think they mean giving up. But Tolle explains that true surrender is not weakness, it is deep inner strength. It means saying yes to life, even when life doesn't go the way you planned. Acceptance is the ability to stop fighting what is. It is the moment you stop resisting the present moment and choose to be at peace with it, even if it's not what you wanted. Think about how often we argue with reality. We say, "This shouldn't be happening. This isn't fair. I wish things were different." But reality doesn't change because we argue with it. All that changes is our peace. Tolle says that every moment can be your teacher if you allow it, even the difficult ones. Because when you stop resisting what's happening, you connect to a deeper intelligence, the quiet wisdom of life itself. Imagine it's raining on the day of your big outdoor event. Your mind screams, "Why today? Why now?" But the rain will not listen. You can spend your energy being angry, or you can take a breath, smile, and dance in the rain. That small shift, from resistance to acceptance, changes everything. The rain is the same, but you are different. And that difference is peace. Tolle often says, whatever you fight, you strengthen. Whatever you accept, you transform. When you resist life, you're feeding the conflict inside you. When you accept it, you dissolve that resistance. Acceptance doesn't mean you approve of everything or stop taking action. It means you stop adding emotional suffering to what's already there. You act from clarity, not from anger. For example, let's say you lose your job. It's natural to feel sad or worried. Those emotions are human. But after that first wave passes, you have two choices: fight the situation with fear, or accept it and move forward with peace. Acceptance sounds like this: okay, this is what's happening right now. I may not like it, but I can deal with it. From that space, your mind clears. New ideas come. New paths open. Because you're no longer trapped in resistance, you're open to solutions. Tolle calls surrender a spiritual doorway. It's the moment when you stop trying to control life and instead align yourself with it. When you surrender to the now, you connect with a quiet power that's far greater than your personal will. It's the power of life itself moving through you. He compares it to floating in a river. If you fight the current, you exhaust yourself. But if you relax and let the river carry you, you still move, only with ease and grace. Surrender is that relaxation of the soul. Many people fear surrender because they think it means losing control. But in truth, we never had control over life, only over our reactions. The weather, the economy, other people, they are not ours to control. Peace begins when we stop trying to control the uncontrollable. Tolle reminds us that every time we resist the present, we create pain. And every time we say yes to it, fully, sincerely, we feel relief, even if the situation itself hasn't changed. So, the fourth great lesson of the power of now is this: stop fighting life. Start cooperating with it. Don't confuse surrender with passivity. It is not giving up. It is waking up. When you accept the present moment as it is, without judgment, you open the door to peace. And from that peace, the right action always comes naturally. As Tolle says, when you surrender to what is, you become one with the power of life itself. So next time you feel stress or frustration, take a breath and ask yourself, can I accept this moment as it is, just for now? That simple question can bring you back to presence, to the calm beneath the storm, to the peace that is always here, waiting for your yes. Chapter 5. The Present Moment as a Teacher. Eckhart Tolle ends The Power of Now with a message that feels simple, but it holds everything. The present moment is your greatest teacher. Every experience, every challenge, every joy, they're all lessons wrapped in the gift of now. We often think wisdom comes from books, from gurus, from the future. But Tolle reminds us that life itself is always teaching us, every single moment, if we are willing to listen. Think about it. When you face a delay, when someone annoys you, when plans fall apart, life is teaching you patience. When someone you love disagrees with you, life is teaching you compassion. When you fail at something important, life is teaching you humility and strength. But we miss those lessons because we're too busy wishing the moment were different. We say, this shouldn't be happening. Yet, every moment, even the hard ones, is exactly what we need for our own awakening. The present moment is like a mirror. It reflects your inner state back to you. If you're restless, it shows your impatience. If you're peaceful, it reflects that peace. The world becomes your teacher because it shows you who you are inside. Tolle says that life will keep repeating the same lesson until you learn it. If you don't learn patience, you'll keep meeting situations that test your patience. If you don't learn forgiveness, life will keep showing you people who challenge your heart. This isn't punishment, it's compassion. Life wants to free you from your own patterns. It keeps guiding you toward awareness, toward presence. So instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What is this moment trying to teach me?" That one question turns every problem into an opportunity for growth. Tolle often compares the present moment to nature. Look at a tree. It's not hurrying to grow. It's not regretting the past or worrying about tomorrow. It simply exists, deeply rooted in the now. And because of that, it grows strong and peaceful. When you live in the present, you become like that tree, still, aware, unshakable. You respond to life with grace instead of fear. You begin to see that the ordinary moments, the sound of rain, a smile from a stranger, your own breathing, are full of beauty. So, the final and greatest lesson of the power of now is this: the present moment is not just where life happens, it is life itself. Everything else is memory or imagination. Only now is real. When you embrace this truth, something changes inside you. You stop running. You stop searching. You start living. And that's the quiet miracle Tolle points to. Not a big, dramatic awakening, but a simple shift in awareness. You realize that peace was never lost, it was just covered by noise. And when you return to the now, you find it again, always waiting, always here. So, my friends, what can we take from this journey through the power of now? You are not your mind, you are the awareness behind it. Time is an illusion, only the present is real. Pain can be healed through awareness. Peace comes through acceptance and surrender. And life itself is the teacher, every moment, every breath. If you practice even one of these lessons each day, you'll start to feel a quiet shift inside you, a sense of space, clarity, and calm. Remember, you don't have to escape your life to find peace. You just have to wake up to this moment, fully, completely. Thank you so much for listening to English Unbound. I'm Tom, and I truly hope today's episode inspired you to slow down, breathe, and live more consciously. If this message touched you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use a little peace in their day. Until next time, stay present, stay grateful, and keep learning. Because now is where your power lives. Bye for now.